Are we going to pretend that words don't have usages? Any thinking person knows that people use words to get their meanings across.
Video, that's what I don't understand. I don't know, I feel like the narrative really got switched over and became, more of a racial type thing. And it's like, if that's what you got out of the song and the video, I mean, I almost kind of feel like that's on you, because that wasn't our intention.
That's why I love Jason Aldean, man. And I don't know how anybody can't understand that. Just think you got to be mentally ill to hear that song and hear negative stuff out of it. But for you to hear racial tension and dog whistling, I mean, you're a nut.
My first question is, try what in a small town? Well, he tells us the idea behind the video.
The whole idea behind the video was to show, the lawlessness and the, disrespect for cops and just, trashing cities and burning. I'm just not cool with that.
He wanted to show the lawlessness and the disrespect for cops, the trashing cities and burning. He stopped short of what he was talking about when he said burning, but I think we've heard enough to get the picture. Keep that in mind. Now, let's look at the lyrics. Remember, we're asking the question, try what in a small town? And he tells us the things he believes are going on in the cities in the lyrics. Sucker punched somebody on the sidewalk. Carjack an old lady at a red light. Pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. So, the idea behind the song, as he says, is to show the lawlessness, the disrespect for cops, the trashing the cities, and the burning. Again, I ask, are we going to pretend that people don't use words to get their ideas across? Because that's the only way anyone who lives in this society can be confused about who he is referencing. Are we going to pretend that there isn't a narrative going around about a knockout game perpetrated by blacks?
So why is it any difference that a black kid in a white community sucker punching white people?
Who do we think he's referring to when he says carjack an old lady at a red light?
But I can hear him right now. Oh, he was just a kid and he didn't even do nothing and he didn't even have a gun.
Who do you think he's talking about when he says the disrespect for cops? Keeping with this narrative, who do we think he's talking about when he says burning and trashing cities? That all encompasses the lawlessness that he said in the interview was in the idea behind the song. So he's answered the question in his lyrics and his interview of what he's daring some unnamed people, presumably from the city, to try in a small town. The next question would be, if these unnamed people took him up on that dare, what would the response be? Well, he answered that question in his lyrics. I got a gun my granddad gave me. And if you're looking for a fight full of good old boys raised up right. Good old boys. Well, that has a definition too, and I got it right here. According to the dictionary on Google, a good old boy is a man who embodies some or all of the qualities considered characteristic of many white men of the southern U.S., including an unpretentious, convivial manner, conservative or intolerant attitudes, and a strong sense of fellowship with and loyalty to other members of his peer group. So it's pretty clear, at least to me, when it comes to what he is challenging the unnamed people to do and what those unnamed people do in the cities and who is waiting for them if they try that in a small town. This isn't splitting atoms, people. It's pretty easy to understand who he's talking about.